Well, good evening, everyone. You're listening to Red Pill 78. As always, I'm your host, Zak, the Corruption Detector, and this is another edition of Red Pill News. Today is a landmark day, my friends. Yes, finally, the outcome we've been hoping for several years. General Flynn has had his charges finally dropped due to the D.C. Court of Appeals. That means he is now a free man, and perhaps we're going to see him speaking out about what happened not only during this case, but what happened during the Obama administration. Truly, this man knows where the bodies are buried. So we're going to be talking about the dismissal of the General Flynn case. We are also going to be talking about newly released notes from Peter Strzok, which directly implicate Obama and Biden in ordering the sham Flynn investigation. We're going to go through a thread from Undercover Huber discussing the ruling to dismiss the General Flynn case. We're also going to check in on President Trump's reaction to the dismissal of the General Flynn case. Then we're going to investigate those new notes in a very detailed fashion. That is in a thread from Technofog. Also, we have an incredible dig on Raz Simone, the warlord of the CHAZ or the CHOP, whatever it is, the autonomous zone in Seattle. We have connections to organized prostitution. We have connections to banking. We have connections to the Clinton Foundation. You are not going to want to miss it. And finally, we've got a couple of tweets of the weird. Looks like maybe somebody might have caught a picture of the Loch Ness Monster, and Ryan O'Handley, the DC Drano account on Twitter, has a crazy video of an unidentified flying object. Our show today is going to be just chock full of crazy information. So please, everyone, do sit back, relax, grab your popcorn, and we'll be right back after a brief word from our sponsor. Watch the news and you'll know that nothing is normal right now. Things are getting worse, and we probably won't be returning to our old lives very soon, if ever again, with the way they're going. Now, what does this mean to you today, right now? What does that mean for the future? Well, it's very possible we could be looking at food shortages, and the question is, are you going to be prepared? Or will you get trampled in the panic that ensues when everyone realizes the local grocery stores are out of food? Don't let the coming nightmare turn you into a statistic. Make tomorrow's survival your top priority today by building an emergency food supply right now. I personally use and trust my Patriot Supply, and you should too. They are the go-to experts in emergency preparedness, and right now you can save $100 on a full 4-week food supply of their delicious and nutritious food that lasts up to 25 years. But you might need it as soon as next month if things continue on the track they're on. Don't let yourself get caught unprepared, not when you can get a 4-week supply of emergency food shipped right to your doorstep today. Go to preparewithredpill78.com. That's preparewithredpill78.com. Act now while supplies last. And remember, when you support my sponsors, you support this channel. All right, guys, thanks for sticking around. First of all, today, I want to say thank you very much to the Patriot who sent me this shirt and another one. I don't want to divulge their name on the air, but I just want you to know that I got it, and I really appreciate it. Also, a quick correction. Like a moron yesterday, I said that Devin Archer was John Kerry's stepson. Chris Hines is John Kerry's stepson. Sorry, I was a little tired when I was making the video. So, first of all, today we're going to be talking about the newly released notes from Peter Strzok, and they implicate Obama and Biden directly in ordering the sham investigation into General Flynn. Now, the Justice Department released these notes from January 4th of 2017 regarding the Flynn-Kislyak calls, and last month it was revealed that 2020 presidential candidate Joe Biden was in a January 5th Oval Office meeting discussing General Flynn's phone calls with the Russian ambassador, and included on that meeting was Obama, Yates, Comey, Rice, and Brennan, all of the major players. Well, now we know that Obama and Biden were directly involved in the sham Flynn investigation, keeping in mind that Joe Biden denied having any knowledge about this in the past. Now, the newly released notes show that the vice president at that time, Joe Biden, wanted to invoke the Logan Act against General Flynn. How interesting. He was the one who wanted to invoke the Logan Act. Now, Peter Strzok also noted that Barry directly ordered this investigation into General Flynn, saying, have the right people on the case. That sounds like code to me to make sure we nailed General Flynn's butt to the wall. Now, then FBI Director James Comey said that the calls between Flynn and Kislyak appear legit, but they went ahead and did the investigation anyways. Strzok's notes believed to be of January 4th, 2017 reveal former President Obama, James Comey, Sally Yates, Joe Biden, and apparently Susan Rice discussed the transcripts of Flynn's calls and how to proceed against him. Mr. Obama himself directed that the right people be involved in the Flynn investigation. Here we have the tweet thread from my friend Technofog, which was just released on Twitter earlier today, and also very recently after that posted by our favorite Anon. Let's go ahead and take a deeper look at the thread. All right, so here we have the actual information released by the government. It details the fact that these people were all involved in the meeting. These are the actual handwritten notes of Peter Strzok detailing the structure of the investigation and the directions of both Obama and Biden. Now, Donald Trump Jr. said Biden and Obama tried subverting the democracy, peaceful transition of power to destroy him and compromise the Trump administration. Absolutely incredible. Donald Trump Jr. also retweeting this information. Now, in addition to this information being released, we have incredible news from the D.C. Court of Appeals. The Justice Department has prevailed and the charges against General Flynn have been dropped. Let's take a look at that. So after several years, after spending all of his money and having his life and his family's lives ruined, the Justice Department recently requested to Justice Sullivan that the case against General Flynn be completely dropped. However, due to a supreme act of judicial activism, Justice Sullivan appointed an outside individual, a former judicial appointee of Bill Clinton, to argue against the Justice Department and their wishes. Well, this was taken all the way to the D.C. Court of Appeals, and as of today, the General Flynn case has been dismissed. The D.C. Court of Appeals has upheld the Justice Department's request, as it should be. Now, apparently, the ruling is only partially for General Flynn, as the appeals court has ordered that Justice Sullivan dismiss the case and that Gleason's appointment as amicus immediately be vacated. However, they have declined to grant the request to kick Judge Sullivan off the case immediately. However you look at it, this is huge news. Now here is the ruling from the United States Court of Appeals itself, ordering that the case be dismissed, however, keeping Judge Sullivan on the case itself. And here is that thread from Undercover Huber detailing the decision. Now, apparently the ruling was 2-1. Henderson and Rao ruled for Flynn, but Wilkins dissented. Now, a few weeks ago, Undercover Huber reminded us that due to existing case precedent law, such as Fokker and Rule 48, it required Justice Sullivan to dismiss the case. Now, he says he can investigate it all he likes, but that's never going to change. Now, we also heard from Attorney General Bill Barr recently, and he was clearly of the opinion that the executive branch has the complete and total authorization of choosing when to keep a case in session, when to dismiss it, and when to make the charge. Now, after seeing those notes from Peter Strzok, after getting this decision from the D.C. Court of Appeals, I want to remind you guys of President Trump's statements just 2 days ago, stating that Barack Obama, the former president of the United States, committed treason. He attempted to stand in the way of a peaceful transition of power and to impose his will after vacating the office. He directed his underlings to spy on both President Trump and his campaign, and the people held over in the government who are still working for Obama and his lackeys were doing the exact same thing. President Obama and many other people in our government are guilty of treason, and President Trump knows it. As I stated just yesterday, there is no coincidences in this case. President Trump states something and it therefore is true, not because he states it, but President Trump is smart enough to only discuss something that he knows is actually the case. So now that the General Flynn case has been dismissed, now that these notes have come out, I believe we are going to see that action that we've been waiting for directly from John Durham and his team. And as our favorite Anon stated, there are others working behind the scenes. So this morning at 10:40 a.m., after hearing the news of the D.C. Court of Appeals decision, President Donald Trump tweeted out, "Great. Appeals Court upholds Justice Department's request to drop criminal case against General Michael Flynn." And just a few minutes ago, he tweeted something else out in response to the decision. He said, is James Comey and his band of dirty cops going to apologize to General Michael Flynn and many others for what they have done to ruin his life? What about Robert Mueller and his angry Democrat cronies? Are they going to say so sorry? And what about Obama and Biden? I'm going to go ahead and answer that question. I don't think that any of these people are going to say they're sorry. I think the only act of contrition we're going to see is after they are put in handcuffs and shipped down to Guantanamo Bay for trial in front of a military tribunal for treason and sedition, for attempting to overthrow a democratically elected leader of the United States of America. This great republic can never again see something like this take place. We must make it very clear that if you attempt to turn our country into a banana republic, you are going to pay the price, and you will be met with the full hand of justice, and the scales will tip against you. Now, last night after the show, post 4505, we received word from our favorite Anon that a couple of top defense officials at the Pentagon were going to be resigning. A Pentagon top technology official and then their deputy. And it says, Morse coming senior, remember your oath. And then this morning, just as the information about General Flynn dropped, we got this post, the People's General soon, and then 3 stars. And then we have a reminder, a past post from February 21st of 2018, along with that technofog status we just went over, and it says they never thought she would lose. Careless. It perfectly sums up the reason that they thought they could commit treason and act against the newly incoming government in the United States, that duly elected president of this great republic, Donald Trump. Now, in post 4508, we have this meme of Barack Hussein Obama along with 18 U.S. Code 2384 and 2381 for seditious conspiracy and treason, and our favorite Anon says add Biden. Memes are important. And then we go to post 4509. It's a little long, so I want to go ahead and go over it in depth. Now, here it is, post 4509. It has been entitled on QMAP, Welcome to the Digital Battlefield. Together we win. Now, keeping in mind, yesterday, before the announcement that his case was going to be dropped, General Flynn posted on Parler and mentioned us digital soldiers. And our favorite Anon says, you have been selected to help serve your country. Never retreat from the battlefield, Twitter, Facebook, etc. Use other platforms as a form of centralized command and control. Organize and connect, bridge through linking. Source meme material from Battlefield and or Garage, highlight and share, take and drop. Mission 1. Dispute, reject propaganda push through posting of research and facts. Mission 2, support role of other digital soldiers. One falls, another stands, rises. Mission 3, guide, awaken others through use of the facts. Declass 1 through 99 material and other relevant facts. And memes, decouple MSNBC control of info stream. Ask counter questions to initiate thought versus repeat echo of MSDNC propaganda. Mission 4, learn use of camouflage digitally, primary account suspended, terminated, use of secondary. Mission 5, identify strengths and weaknesses, personal and designated targets regarding Twitter and Facebook and other examples regarding memes, failure to read through use of algo, Thinktron, MCP master control program, dependence on person-to-person capture, slow response time, unidentified users, game theory, information warfare. Welcome to the digital battlefield. Together we win. I love this post because it gives us the exact roadmap of what we should all be doing, the way we should all be acting. I see people tearing each other apart on Twitter. I see people calling other people shills because they don't agree with them. I see people calling people shills because they have large accounts. Well, I'm sorry to tell you, but just because someone has a large account or just because they've been posted on this board does not make them a shill. People who share good information tend to get a lot of eyes on them. People who are tracking the boards and realize when Q posts and immediately respond to those posts tend to get recognized. If you have a problem with people being recognized, then you don't understand what it means to be an Anon. The mission itself is not to be recognized. That is just an added bonus. The mission itself is to save our country. The mission itself is to follow these missions and continue on with our battle. And the battlefield, my friends, is on Facebook. The battlefield is on Twitter. The battlefield is on YouTube. I refuse to cede my ground. I have created this platform and I am moving forward with it because we should not, as citizens of this country, be forced to marginalize ourselves and be forced to pack up into the smallest possible area so that we are in our own echo chamber. We should all be on the same platform and we should be allowed to give our opinions and use our voices as our forefathers intended through our inalienable rights, our God-given rights to life, liberty, the pursuit of happiness, freedom of speech, the right to bear arms. I will be damned if someone takes that away from me, and I will be damned if I'm forced to cede my platform and go somewhere else. I will continue to fight, and I hope that you all will continue to fight for the exact same reasons. This is about saving our country. This is not about petty jealousy. This is not about infighting. This is not about dragging down one person because you have a personal problem. We are here to fight for our country, our freedom, our president, and our liberty. Now, post 4510 is the oath of office, and I ask all of you to take it with me now if you have not done so yet. I do solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, that I take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties of the office on which I am about to enter. So help me God, where we go one, we go all. And our favorite Anons says, take the oath, mission forward. Now, post 4511 is a declaration about the historic nature of what we've been involved with, about what has been attempted here. It says this has never been attempted. Use of general public to counter the narrative propaganda push by controlled media. Analysis, start until now, indicates situational awareness, decoupling of MSDNC control of information, channels 1 through 99, of general public expanding at massive pace. Attacks indicate can be defined as loss of generalized information control. Need to expend ammunition, muster network to defend and coordinate attacks to counter. Military-civil alliance. This is exactly what we are involved with right now. We are opening eyes and minds across this country and across the globe. Our former overlords are no longer in control of the narrative. The information war has shifted, and we now, through our partnership with the military here in the United States, the military intelligence officials, the people behind Q Team, we together have basically changed the entire world. We are moving into a new age, a new era of golden prosperity and opportunity, and only through the defeat of our former information handlers are we going to be able to do that. And my friends, we are so close, closer than we ever have been before. All right, and finally, at the request of Q, Biden has been added to the seditious conspiracy and treason meme. Clearly, this information must reach the general public, and eyes are opening. Now, as a result of this landmark court decision and this information that has been released and disseminated by you and I, my friends, people are beginning to listen. All right, now next, I want to go over this incredible thread that is a dig on Raz Simone, the warlord of the CHOP or the CHAZ, or however they are saying it now. I want to thank my friend Monty for sending it over. This is from AK4WA on Twitter. A close friend of mine did some digging on Raz Simone, and she thinks that the FBI in Seattle, the FBI in Washington, the Justice Department, and DHS might want to look further. Now, she says Raz Simone, aka Solomon Simone, has owned Aurora Smoke Shop on Aurora Avenue in Seattle since October of 2018. Here is the paperwork showing that right there. Now, he is also the owner of Black Umbrella Management Incorporated, the business that received $82,000 from the city of Seattle. Solomon Samuel Simone also owns Commodity Properties, an Airbnb-type business. Here is the paperwork on that. My friend believes she has seen Raz on Aurora, where numerous underage prostitutes are being pimped out. She's concerned he may be their pimp. She says he parks north of an oak tree on the east side of 99 NB near the strip club Dancing Bear. There is a gray Cadillac Escalade there and a black SUV that also parks there where the girls talk through the window. Last week, the SUV had an out-of-plate state from Arizona. Now, further down the rabbit hole, that strip club, Dancing Bear, is located right next to Raz Simone's smoke shop on Aurora. It's on the opposite side of Good Guys Pizza. All right, so here is the map from the area. If the Aurora Smoke Shop is on the opposite side of Good Guys Pizza, then I'm assuming it's on this opposite side over here. Now, Dancing Bear, the strip club right next to Good Guys Pizza, is a familiar tale. This is something we've seen in many different areas where there is human trafficking involved. There are often pizza restaurants, and then there are quite often strip clubs as well. If we go to Portland, there is a particular set of businesses there that meet this exact same setup. Now, Dancing Bear happens to be the strip club where a bunch of Seattle police officers got into some trouble because they were buying lap dances in an effort to see if the strippers would proposition them for prostitution, and the officers couldn't keep their hands to themselves. Here is the article from the Seattle Times. Veteran Seattle police detective fired in strip club investigation. This is the actual front of Dancing Bear. And here is the police officer himself apologizing for his behavior. And they found out during the internal investigation that Philip Wall, a longtime detective, used cocaine and provided marijuana-infused chocolates to a fellow officer, among other violations. And it continues in a second internal investigation. Wall admitted to interactions with a sex worker and marijuana use, including providing marijuana candy. Officers are not allowed to use marijuana, and Wall admitted he violated Washington law by purchasing it from friends rather than a licensed retail business. Wall, whose termination by Police Chief Kathleen O'Toole occurred last month, also admitted he sent a text message with a pornographic image, improperly shared the male sexual function drug Cialis, and omitted information about his misconduct in his original interview with the department's internal investigation unit. And now, this is the link for the story itself. I will be leaving the link to this thread in the pinned comment below. And another from The Stranger. This is another article on that same story. Now, when you look into the strip club, it appears that a financial institution is actually being run in the front of the strip club, and it actually shares the same address. It is only labeled as MetaBank on MapQuest. I have a feeling it may be just more than an ATM. Now, here is that address information for MetaBank. And here is the address information for Dancing Bear, 10338 Aurora Avenue North, 10338 Aurora Avenue North. MetaBank happens to be the financial institution used that sent out the federal stimulus money on prepaid debit cards. Here is the information about that. Here is a screen grab with information about MetaBank. And here is a screen grab showing that MetaBank was issued prepaid debit cards as part of the Treasury Department's stimulus check program. Some unemployed Americans who opted to have their unemployment checks directly deposited ended up finding out that those funds had been deposited into bank accounts that didn't belong to them. The accounts that did receive the funds were MetaBank accounts. I'm sure everyone remembers this. There was stories going around when the stimulus checks were being delivered. Several people in certain areas had not received them, and that's because when they did their taxes, they had their taxes given to them as an advance, and then the actual tax money was then deposited into an account which was owned by that tax preparer. Apparently, some of them were deposited into MetaBank accounts. Here's where it gets even weirder. MetaBank partners with a nonprofit called Operation Hope. Here is a screen grab from the MetaBank mobile site talking about their partnership with Operation Hope. It says, when individuals face financial hardship, every area of their lives suffers. Operation Hope is here to help. In cooperation and partnership with MetaBank, Operation Hope provides free financial programs that will help individuals take control of their money. Now, in their About Us section, it's worth taking a quick look so you can get a feel for what the organization is all about. Here is an image of a man kissing a young child. Operation Hope is a for-purpose organization working to disrupt poverty and empower inclusion for low and moderate income youth and adults. Our focus is financial dignity and inclusion. We equip young people and adults with the financial tools and education to secure a better future, coaching them through their personal aspirations and life's challenges, and facilitating their journey to financial independence. Now, particularly the section about their partners and their board members. Now, here on the page from the Operation Hope's website, it looks like it's discussing someone named Ambassador Young, who was a congressman 3 times and a leading figure in the civil rights movement. Also saying that he serves on the board of several Fortune 500 companies and was appointed by President Bill Clinton to chair the Southern Africa Enterprise Development Fund. And then she stumbled onto this bombshell. Turns out that Operation Hope is... Wait, are you sitting down? Operation Hope has a $9 million partnership with the William Jefferson Clinton Foundation. Now, in fact, the Clinton Foundation has a lot of connections with Operation Hope, both in the U.S. as well as around the globe. 8 pages of connections, it looks like, including Haiti. Now, she says, I'd love to know if the $1 billion Nigerian scam Governor Inslee seems to be completely unaware of is connected to MetaBank. I'd love to know why Raz Simone is getting $83,000 grants from the city of Seattle when he has a rap sheet that looks like this. Here are all of the cases that Raz Simone has been involved in. Looks like no fewer than 18. Now, here is the information about that grant that Raz Simone received through the Black Umbrella Corporation for $83,250. It looks like that grant was for the construction of a recording studio. So the city of Seattle paid Raz Simone to build a recording studio in Seattle. That is interesting. And she continues, I have a feeling there's a lot more to discover connected to Operation Hope, particularly with regard to Haiti, and that may be the best place to start digging. P.S. Raz talked about being a pimp back in 2014. Here in this article from MTV News, Raz Simone gives a quote about the things he's done in his life, and it says he rhymes before explaining how his career as a pimp and the time he sold drugs to his aunt affected his psyche. And that is it. A bunch of strange connections. Raz Simone, a pimp in Seattle, receiving a grant for almost $84,000 from the city of Seattle, being connected to multiple businesses and charitable organizations that have ties to both Bill Clinton and the Clinton Foundation. I think this information definitely warrants some additional digging, and if you guys want to check it out, go look at the pinned comment below and you can find the thread. All right, next, we have some strange pictures that were taken by a tourist in Scotland last year. Apparently, as he was taking pictures of the loch, an unknown fish or animal crested in the water, and he was able to catch a picture of it. Here is the picture itself. You can see it appears to be a fairly long creature, whatever it is, and some portion of it is breaking through the top of the water. Now, here is a close-up of that picture. There is no discernible fin but actually, if you look at it right there, it kind of looks like there may be some kind of a flipper. Now, I suppose this could totally be some kind of a freshwater whale, maybe, that is living in Loch Ness, and this is what's caused the controversy over the last many centuries. But as of right now, we have no identifying information. I just thought that it was kind of cool. Here is a picture after it's gone down under the water, and you can see that the trail that it's left is pretty long. If anyone out there has any ideas as to what this could possibly be, I am very interested to know. The Loch Ness Monster has always fascinated me. So thank you very much, guys, for allowing me to bring you this bit of weird news. All right, guys, and finally, I bring you a video that was posted by Rogan O'Handley at DC Drano on Twitter. Now, this appears to be some type of unidentified flying object, and I'm not saying that it's from off-planet, but I am saying that it is an unidentified object that behaves in a very strange fashion. He says, what? This video is from a friend in Miami. Can anyone explain? Now, normally, when I see videos like these, I immediately assume that someone has produced it with some type of visual effect. This kind of stuff is pretty sophisticated nowadays, so it's very easy to fake something like this. But the fact that Rogan is claiming a friend of his took it himself, I find it less likely that it has been a manipulated video. So let's go ahead and take a look at the clip, and I'm going to let you guys decide. All right, so let's take one more look. He appears to be putting the camera up. It looks to be several different objects, and it kind of breaks apart. and each one goes in its own direction, leaving the one in the center, and then it's gone. Now, Rogan follows up with a second video. He says, this is video number 2 from the same friend in Miami. Let's take a look.
Again, no bullshit here. Here's a sky over here, downtown, my house, my hands. What the f is that? Holy shit. Look, no bullshit. No bullshit. Look at Little Thunder, esto, lo otro, the pool. What is that? Oh, wait. Bye. Oh, shit. It's incredible. Wow.
All right, so no matter what you believe, this is a fascinating video. I truly do think that the United States government has all types of, interstellar craft, things that can take us off planet, technology that we know absolutely nothing about. And I've stated here on the show in the past that I think the Space Force is President Donald Trump's way of disclosing this advanced technology to us. I am so excited about what the future holds and about what mankind can achieve by going out to the stars. If only I was young enough to join the Space Force, you guys, I would be right out there with those brave men and women. All right, guys. All right, my friends. As I said earlier, today is truly a historic day. Not only because of the exoneration of General Flynn and the revealing of treason and sedition on behalf of the former president and vice president of the United States, but because of the historic nature of this incredible military and civilian alliance that you and I are a part of. Keep your eyes on the mission. Make sure that you move forward, do not cede ground to your enemies, and we shall prevail. As always, this has been Red Pill 78. I am the Corruption Detector, and this was your Red Pill News. Good luck, everyone, and God bless. Hey guys, one more thing. I just want to say thank you to everybody who has supported the channel. If you're interested in doing more, there is always links in the description below. I have the merch store. Of course, I also have the backup channels. Please subscribe to those. If you take a look up here, you're going to see a couple of other videos. There's also a spot to subscribe if you have not subscribed yet. And if you are subscribed, I ask you to please check and make sure that you're still subscribed and your notifications are turned on. Thank you everybody for watching the program, and I will see you tomorrow.